All right, friends, this is a proper camera that I'm using today. And first time using it. It's an Action 4 DJI camera, and I'm going to test it out on the trail and see how it does. So this is the start of the trail in Pamplin. I'm going to try to ride the Prospect, which is about 10 miles up and 10 miles back. So let's see if we can get a better video than we've been getting. All right, here we go. It's cool out today. It's not supposed to rain, but it looks mighty iffy. I'm riding with my new shock absorbing seat post today. The ride is pretty smooth. Also wearing a pair of bike riding padded underwear to see how that does after I'm riding for a little bit. Hopefully they'll make things a little smoother. Looks like some crows in the road up here, and it was. I've got some pieces coming so I can mount this camera onto my bike. Right now I've got it on a harness, which is not really the way I want to do this, but it's the only option I had today. There's an old silo, three old silos. And a brush pile. Coming to a road crossing, so I'm going to slow down a little bit. I think we're good. It's almost dark on the trail because of the clouds, and it's cool. It's in the 70s, which is a great relief from being in the 90s and having 102 or 3 heat index, which is how I've ridden in the past. I'd like to plan a trip to the New River Trail. I think it's 50 some miles long, but it's about 2.5 hours away from Appomattox, so it's gonna have to be a planned trip with maybe some camping involved. I would like for my wife to go, but I don't see that happening as she's not a really outdoor person. But she doesn't care if I go. She might worry about me a little bit. I can take care of myself pretty good. How you doing? All right, brother. Last time I rode, I saw the mama bear and 3 cubs, and I respected their space, and they went on across the trail and they didn't have any issues. People are far more dangerous than you're going to come in contact to than wildlife, and that's a sad thing to say, but it's true. Not all people, but some people. Coming to another road crossing here. All right, I want to cross this road. Over to my left is Route 460. I ride on that road every day going to work. It parallels, the trail parallels that. But the view from the trail is totally different from 460. It's so much more interesting to see what's off the highway and in the woods and things. It's cool because the old power lines that used to be with the railroad track are still running through the woods with the insulators and things. If you look over on the right side, you can see it still running through the woods some. Some of it's of course fallen down or gone, but it is pretty cool that they're still there. You can see cement mile markers along the way as you go through. Coming up on another crossing here. I think this is just a driveway. Looks like they've been doing some work on it. And there's a piece of the old railroad. When I was at the visitor center, which is probably about 25 miles further down the trail, maybe a little further than that, it's on the other side of the high bridge. They said they have plans to expand this on into further on down the line from when it stopped, where it stopped at the last video, which I'm excited for that. There's an old marker from the railroad with the miles on it, in 166. And they're all the way down the trail. I guess it was to let the trains know where they were at on the line. That is a trail marker, that not from the railroad but for the trail. I'm riding in pedal assist 1, which this Your Life E20 e-bike has 3 pedal assists, and on the Third pedal assist, it'll get up to 25, 26 miles an hour. But whenever you do that, you're eating your battery up pretty good. So I want to go for distance and not necessarily speed. I'm pedaling along at 13 miles an hour, which is a pretty good pace. I could click it up to 2 and be going 20 miles an hour or something like that, but like I say, it'll just eat the battery up faster. Oh, by the way, the Virginia breeze is back to being sweet. It's not foggy from the fires today in Canada. So it's smelling pretty sweet and it's very cool. Anybody watching has never been to Virginia, you should come and check us out. It's a place full of history and beauty, mountains, seas, just about everything that you could want as far as terrain and things to do is here. It's a hummingbird. I don't know if y'all could see him or not. I'm gonna run up on the hummingbird. I always see something on the tray. Coming up on the road crossing, this is called Elam. It's just a sign in the road that says Elam. But there's a plaque here about some children that were killed in the 50s on the railroad crossing right here. I think it was 5 children that were killed and hit by a train, which is tragic. This is a busy intersection, so I'm going to slow down when I get up here and make sure that I don't get run over, because I don't want to have a tragic accident either. My wife wouldn't like it at all. Alright, here comes a car now. So I'm going to slow down and stop. In fact, it's a truck. How y'all doing? Got no internet. Whoop, 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 whoop. Cars coming off the highway. Now I might be able to go. I'm going. Here we go. There's a plaque that tells about the accident and the children's names. It's very interesting, very sad. If you know me, you know that I like to fish. We used to fish in a lot of tournaments when I first got married with my father-in-law and then my brother. And then life happens and it gets expensive and you have a child. Now that she's a grown person, I love her very much, but we just don't fish tournaments like we used to. But if you'll put in the comments and guess what the biggest bass I ever caught was, see who can guess the biggest bass. And I will tell you that I've caught bigger bass than I've weighed. But as far as a weight that I know how much the fish was, the one that guesses it, I might get a prize or something. Write in the comments what you think it weighed. I caught one that big when I was 5 years old, which I can show you the picture. And I also caught one when I first got married. It weighed the exact same amount. So, like I say, guess and I'll show you the picture from when I was 5 years old. I am going to make a video of my brother and I on our bass boat fishing, and post that. Probably be in the fall when the fishing gets a little better, or maybe at night. The good nighttime fishing in the spring is past. I'm sure they're still catching fish at night, but I don't know if you can get in Smith Mountain Lake at all, because the water's so low. A lot of the ramps are closed because it's down like 6 feet, which is pretty bad. A lot of people that have houses and boat docks on the lake, their lifts don't come down far enough to get their boats in the water, which means it would be a really good time to go fish because of the boat traffic would be light. It'd be also, if you had a kayak or a little boat, it would be a good time to put it in the lake and fish and not have to worry about getting drowned by boat weight. In the summertime in the regular, it's not a lot of fun to fish in the daytime at Smith Mountain Lake because there's so much boat traffic and jet skis and things like that. I mean, everybody's got to share the lake, but it gets rough as the ocean. Also got a trip planned with my cousin up in the mountains to trout fish in October. We haven't finalized the plans, but I'm looking forward to that and bringing y'all along with me. Well, I'm not far from being back at the truck. I'm getting better battery life today than I have with the air pressure up and being cool. You get better mileage out of your battery when it's a little cooler and not being 100 degrees. And so I'm gonna finish the ride and go home, like I say, and cook supper. That's a big old tree that fell over right there. They had to cut them across the trail. Like I say, we had a few storms last week that were pretty strong, but we needed the rain. We don't need 60-mile-an-hour winds, but we need the rain. This has been a great ride. This is maybe the best one I've had so far as being cool and getting good battery life and just enjoying the thing. Hadn't seen as much wildlife as I do sometime, but we did see the little hummingbird. I hope it comes out on the camera. And I'm going to be quiet for a little while so I can insert Sweet Virginia Breeze in this little section right here. I'm going to speed up the bike.
This morning, breeze blowing across my face, but I just had to look up above and thank somebody for this place, because he must have been thinking about me when he planted that very first dogwood tree. It's where I wanna be, just living in the sweet Virginia breeze. Take me out to the country, I feel mighty good out there. When I get back to the city of the monuments, doesn't matter where I hang my hat, it's home to me. The Blue Ridge Mountains tend to set me free. It's where I wanna be, just living in the sweet Virginia breeze. Sweet Virginia breeze wakes me up in the morning, rocks me to sleep at night. You got a redbird singing on your windowsill, you know everything will be alright. Just living in the sweet Virginia breeze. Sweet Virginia breeze. On my back porch, just watching the sun come up. The sweet, sweet Virginia breeze blowing ripples across my coffee cup. You know he must have been thinking about me when he planted that very first dogwood tree. 'Cause when that breeze come blowing through the trees, you know everything will be alright. Living in the sweet Virginia breeze, the sweet Virginia breeze, the sweet Virginia breeze, the sweet Virginia breeze. I'm living in the sweet Virginia breeze, the sweet Virginia breeze.
Four more miles back to the truck, 2.3 miles to the restroom. And this is the parking spot at Elam, and there's a little sign about the children. So I got 4 more miles and I'll be back home, or back to my truck, and not back home. 10 miles from my house when I get back to Pamplin. Well, friends, I've made it back to the truck. My bike is loaded up. It's starting to rain. I've got to get home and get supper. My blood sugar is low. I got a little snack to eat. So like I said in the video, comment in the below what is the biggest bass that I've ever caught that has been weighed. And I've caught 2 the exact same weight. One when I was 5 years old, and the other one when I was first got married. They both weighed the same amount. Guess in the column and let's see who can guess right. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share my videos. I'm trying to make a go of this, so I need people to subscribe and to follow my channel. Anyway, thank you very much, and I will see you on the next one.